All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to tonight. Tonight we have Jerry Bond, a.k.a. the awesome guy from PreVasive, who invented all this really cool stuff. And Don, Craig, and I had the pleasure of going there and meeting him at his house. And since I've been to his house, I know he's in the basement because I know the basement. And so anyway, it was a real pleasure. And we learned quite a bit, man. It was really, really interesting. All right. So, Don, how would you like to start this? How do you?
Well, while we were there too, it was amazing to tour the facility and see where the mastermind work all happens, and got to see how product flows. And they've got a great system, guys. I mean, it's clean, it's organized, it's just awesome. You're going to hear sometime about a gentleman by the name of Eber. And Eber is basically kind of a right-hand man of Jerry's too. And I just wanted to shout out to him because he's the one that makes sure everything we're all getting our products and timely, and has a great love for the business too. So, but anyway, Jerry, it was great getting together at that point. We're glad that you chose to join us again. And we're going to have a bunch of people on here. Looks like we've got a pretty good group now. It's all Q&A. One of the things I wanted to open up with, since we launched this while we were at your office, was our BAC. So BAC is probably our flagship product, and you're going to talk about that. But we have a new fragrance, don't we? And Joe is going to bring up a picture, and drum roll, please.
Hold on one second, because I got to share this screen.
Share that.
Go. Now, that's a pretty cool thing too, but here we go. All right, there it is.
Okay. Down in the left corner, lower corner, you're going to see Lemon Fresh. And we walked into the lab, and Jerry poured some of this on a cotton swab and had us all smell it. And we had our wives with us too. And every one of us went, wow, it's going to be huge. It'll be a hit. So everybody loves a lemon citrusy smell, and you guys are going to love that product too. So what we'll do is we're probably going to have it set up on the shopping cart, where you choose when you go to check out, you'll choose whether you want the lemon fresh or if you want the wintergreen citrus, or Jerry, we're going to call it citrus
wintergreen, and then lemon. It's a lemon essential oil, so it's a lemon BAC or wintergreen BAC.
Okay. Well, the logo's lemon fresh, so that's why I just kind of call it. So you'd be a lemon or wintergreen. Okay.
It's a great.
Real simple.
Great.
They're both great smelling products. I'm just partial to the lemon when Jerry got it, and when he let us smell it, right? Because it's that smell that everybody wants, right? Dang, man. It's that smell everybody wants, right? So I told Tim to call me an hour ago. So now he's calling me. Anyway, it's a great product. It smells, it's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable smelling product. Okay. Hey, so while I have this other video up, do you want to explain this real quick, Jerry, and then I'll play this and I can get rid of this on the screen?
Yeah, that's what that is. It's they're spraying crop dusting in South Georgia cotton. That's Big Shot Maxim, which is their agriculture product. And what they do is they test, that was 2,700 acres, and they tested 196 scout points. And he said it was the best cotton crop he's ever had. They found 2 grasshoppers and some beneficial insects, of course, but no bad insects. We'll call them, or deleterious insects. And if you'll notice, a lot of the pesticides, well, all the pesticides that they're spraying, they get in big trouble if they have any drift at all, because they're toxic, right? They're poisons. And this product not being a poison, but actually being good for you if it gets on you, that's one big plus the ag guys are really blowing this up with, and it's having an amazing result. It's actually helping the fruit balls or the fruiting structures hold better to the plants. It has no insect pressure at all, hardly. I mean, super minimal. And they're very excited. This guy's never going to plant cotton again without Big Shot, I can tell you. And as a matter of fact, he's picking up another drum. So he's now bought 3 280-gallon totes, and then we're sending him a 55-gallon drum to finish it off. And he's spraying, I think, once a month or so, but they're getting great residual. And again, it's great for the plants. It actually, Big Shot Maxim actually helps slow down the loss of nitrogen in the soil. And it is a 10-10-10 fertilizer, and it's a great broad spectrum pesticide. And it's good for your skin if it gets on you. So it's one of those. It's just an amazing product, and we're hoping to have a global impact with it. We're trying to work with some rotaries around the country, and we just got picked up by a huge mosquito control company. They're trying trials now, and hopefully we can get through some global stuff through them and underprivileged countries and things like that. But this product is important for so many reasons. We think it's going to have a huge impact on global health and also, of course, on our food production. So that's a big effort to work from the healthcare all the way to the table. But
I'm going to show them.
Yeah, so we were standing there filming it, and it's not like running when we were children, running from DDT, right? This stuff is good for you.
That looks like a scary airplane, man. Okay. So
well, the fact that you could be standing there filming that is incredible, because, you know, what other product could you do that with? You couldn't.
That's true. So I guess we're talking about the Big Shot, but Big Shot, if you want to bring up the mosquito control part of it, I talked to someone who does global mosquito control, a PhD lady from actually from LSU in Tulane, and she was telling us that there is no such thing as a product that can kill mosquito larvae and adult mosquitoes. So I sent them videos of what you're about to see. This first picture, if it comes up, is a bunch of, if you look, you'll see a bunch of little larvae swimming in that container. And we did a 1-second mist over it real quick. And after 5 minutes, this is what you saw in 5 minutes later. If you'll pull up the next one. Yeah, so this is 5 minutes later. They're all dead in the bottom. They're all just sitting.
Yep, I can see them right down here.
Yeah. And so now if you look into 45 days, we'll show you the next picture. So
okay,
it killed the larvae. And the next, so this guy right here had sprayed his porch and his windows and everything just to see length of time of how long it controlled the mosquitoes. And after 45 days, he just had to pressure wash the porch. He had so many dead mosquitoes on it. So what we're doing is with a food grade product that's actually good for your skin, we're killing larvae and the mosquitoes on that glass and on his, actually all around his lights and his porch. So what we do have is a product that does do what the mosquito people using the pyrethriums are saying that just is not possible. So we showed them and said, well, yeah, it really is possible, and it's actually possible for longer than the pyrethriums, which only go about 20 days. So we're at 45 days in these pictures, and it's making some noise, let me tell you. It's getting some attention. So, but what's wonderful about it is it controls so many insects that destroy crop plants and ticks and things that are not good for humans. So we're awful excited about this being a serious product, and we hope that we can get it into a big trial in Haiti where we can do some work down there. And we're maybe looking at working through this big mosquito company with one of the big foundations that does this globally. So we got a lot of hope for this. It's going to mean a lot to people we don't even know. A child under 5 dies of malaria every 30 seconds. And so if you had something that wasn't poison that you could put in their environment that would kill the mosquitoes and the larvae, then you're talking making an impact. So
That's awesome.
Keep that in your prayers and just keep that going.
You know, I used it on, you know, I had all those flies on my front porch, and at first I didn't think it was working because I was producing like 1 million flies a day with all the goats and stuff. We finally got it cleaned up, Jerry. Like 2 feet of dirt, 2 feet of poop got with a big old tractor got taken out the last couple of days, and we put new straw down. But before that, you know, there was like 1 million flies being born a day. It was like crazy when you'd walk out in the pasture. They're all over the ground. And so they stopped coming on my front porch. I might see 3 or 4, and I had thousands. It was so bad. Like we were embarrassed to have anyone come over because I had to go out the door before they came in, and I had to like shoo all these flies and try to get them in real quick before 1,000 came in, right? Now we have like 3 or 4 out there. So it's working. I mean, it's doing its job. I didn't notice it for the first few days, right? But then, remember I came to you and I was going to send you some flies, but when I got back, I'm like, well, where are the flies? So it seems to be working because they're still in the back. So now I'll spray all that, right? And I'll spray my barns and everything. I'm going to get that fogger that Don was talking about. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's any questions.
So the last thing about the pyrethriums is I thought this is actually worth showing because there are so many companies that tell you, oh, we're using pyrethriums, you know, they're synthetics from chrysanthemum plants. So they're making a synthetic product, pyrethrum, so that they can go mass market it and they can do 1 ounce per, 100 gallons or however they do it. But the problem is that's very, very toxic. And so here is a book it's a college days book, but it's called Industrial Toxicology, right? So here is right out of the book, it's talking about DDT, and I'm sure that everyone's heard the word DDT and what a huge scourge that was on the planet. The FDA used to say it was good for you back in the 40s. So in the 60s, when it just after the book Silent Spring and people became aware, DDT was a huge casualty of people waking up and understanding what's going on. So billions of tons of arsenics and DDT was put all over the United States. But here is right out of this book. It's talking about the chemical depolarizing the synaptic nerve, and this is DDT, and that's the second paragraph here. And then right under it in 3, it says pyrethriums. These are similar in action to DDT. And so that you'll know that it's just not me, here it is right there. And if you look at number 3, you'll see it right out of the textbook.
Yep, these are similar in action to DDT.
So when I'm in his industrial hygiene and public health, as you're studying these things in school, you're knowing what's going on, and you're out there trying to scream to the top of your lungs, guys, it's not what they're telling you. It's not as safe as you think it is. So again, our goal is to change that, and sometimes it's not easy when you're fighting big ag and big pharma, but we're going to get it done from the folks up.
Kelly Cooper has a testimony. Kelly, can I bring you in now? Like, he has a testimony about the product you're talking about, Jerry. That was pretty. What's the name of the book again? What is the name of the book? Show them the front cover, Jerry.
It's Safety and Health Applications in the Workplaces, Industrial Hygiene book, and the name of it is Industrial Toxicology. You
got that? Is that long enough to write down? Bam, write it down. We have a video.
It might not be one of the fun books to read.
Yeah. Well, Dawn has a test on Friday, so.
Yeah, I got it memorized already, right?
Kelly,
okay.
Tell me yes or no. Go into the chat thing so I know.
Joe, go ahead. Let's pull up some of the other.
All right. Tell me what to pull up.
Pictures. Let's cover some of that.
Said yes. Do you want to do that first, or do you want to do the pictures?
Well, since we're going to flow on this, let's do that. Let's do
Okay.
that. Let's pull those pictures up. Then have Kelly hang on a minute.
Okay, hang on, Kelly. So which ones do you want to show?
Well, bring up my yard and then the river birch picture real quick.
Okay, so here we go. Now I'm gonna have to switch screens. Okay, so give me a second. So it goes on my other. Okay, tell me when you can see it, and I can make it larger.
Okay. Yeah, see if you can make that a little bit larger, guys. I don't know how many of you ever recognized a leaf on one of your trees that looks like this, but right next to that's what they call a Japanese beetle. And it's right now in the Midwest, the Japanese beetle, not just Midwest. I've got a good friend of mine in Rockford, Illinois that's dealing with them, and it's covering a lot of states. But that beetle right now is really infested into a lot of trees, but crops too, right, Jerry? You know, so
Oh, yeah, Japanese beetle is extremely difficult. It's a real problem.
So I'm looking in my tree one day, like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going, what in the world is going on with those leaves? And so this is what I find. So I find this beetle, and he's dead, but he's into this leaf. Go to the next picture.
Okay, I gotta make it smaller to go to the next one. Okay.
And so I consult with Jerry. Yeah, we're off a picture. Go ahead, go to the next one. And so this is a picture of the river birch, and that's okay. So that one right there, but make that one bigger if you would.
I did.
Okay, so you can see some of the leaves in there that that Japanese beetle's eating up, and so so I consult with Jerry. We go ahead and I take the sprayer that's in the next about one of these gas-powered sprayers, which, by the way, we'll have that available on the ACES website. I think it already is.
There's some more of them, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
There it is. Hold on. I'll make it bigger so everybody can see it. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so that particular gas-powered sprayer is, I think it holds about 4 gallons, but it's called a sprayer mister. And the big thing with the product, Jerry, correct, is to mist. We do not need to apply this heavy. So this is a perfect system for it. If you guys want to learn more about it, reach out. But I think we actually posted this on the ACES website. But so I went ahead and put a Big Shot Pro, not the Maxim, but the Pro straight on into this, and then went and treated all my trees that were having issues. Go to the next picture.
Okay.
And so in the process of doing it, though, one of the reasons I'm bringing this up is when I got back a week and a half later after spraying it, and I was out of town, I come back, and my trees now, the Japanese beetles are definitely gone, but I over-treated the tree, and that's kind of a beginning picture. But anyway, kind of burnt the leaves on it, and just wanted to kind of take a minute to talk about that, about how to use the product and making sure that you're just misting it. So that's for Japanese beetle. We've been talking about mosquitoes and mosquito larvae, but Jerry, can you just talk a little bit about why?
Right. So the product, what we're going to do is our agriculture product is called Big Shot Maxim, and it's a concentrate product, and it's dilutable. So I think that's going to be probably what we're going to focus on a lot more, because you put 20 ounces of that per gallon, and when you're applying to that tree, you're just really moving and misting it. You're not trying to soak the limbs. You're just getting it out there, because typically these bugs are about 7,000 to 8,000 times more sensitive to products than we are. So it doesn't take, I mean, it's not like what you think. It's just really a light, just get a mist up in the tree, and do it about once a month till they're gone. And usually it's one application does it, but you're not trying to paint it like a paint sprayer and get every leaf wet. You're just misting up in there. Same way for mosquitoes. You're just misting it and getting it out there. And of course, again, the wonderful thing about it is it's good for you too. So it gets on your skin. It's not going to hurt you. It's a natural oil. It's actually soft and good for your skin. It's a moisturizer like. It's got some really good stuff in it for you. But it'll also keep the mosquitoes off of you while you're out there doing it.
Yeah. Well, and plus it gets on you, so that keeps it away. The important thing about the sprayer Don was showing you, at a horizontal spray, it's like 32 feet. So it'll get to the top of your trees, right? And things like that. It'll do all that. And horizontal is 39 feet it'll spray out. So it's gas powered, but man, the price is like really reasonable. And so
yeah, I think it was only $189 delivered or something like that. But
wow.
But the thing about the trees, there's so many different insects right now that are, you know, like the ash borer in the Midwest. That's, I mean, they're cutting more trees down than they're planting these days because of that particular bug. And so having a sprayer that you can reach all of the tree with would be great. But Jerry, just speak real quick on the fact if people don't have one of those, you know, don't want to spend the money to buy a blower to treat their own yard, and they just wanted to use a pump up sprayer, and they're doing 20 ounces to a gallon of water, they could go out with their pump up sprayer and just try to turn it on as fine a mist as possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, anything that'll fog it and move and just get a mist out there. We've got people now we got some real interesting pest control company using it to test against termites, and it was interesting to see what happens there. But anyway, we contacted all the different departments of agriculture around the country, and you don't really have to wash the fruit if you're going to spray Big Shot on it. It's food grade. But anyway, of course, you don't know if any birds went out there and pooped on it, so you might want to watch it anyway. But anyway, the Big Shot Maxim, this label, we have several different states that are very tough when it comes to registering a label with the Departments of Agriculture. So this label today, I think we have everybody happy now. We had to change some things for Florida Department of Agriculture. We're doing a lot of mosquito control down there and a lot of citrus products. So this label now is good. It looks like for everywhere. So and we're registering it all over the place. It has to be registered just like any EPA registered product. So when you're saying that you're a 25B, that's a serious label, because it's just very difficult to get that. And so anyway, that's the label for Big Shot. And if you're doing mosquitoes or any bugs that you guys are going to do, go 20 ounces per gallon, because you're spraying it with that. Yeah. If you were using an airplane, you might go 12.8 ounces. It's really best just to use 20 ounces per gallon.
Should we look at some questions?
Once it's mixed, how long will it last if you keep it in the bottle?
A year.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe even longer. You just got to make sure you shake it good, just in case it settles. But it's a real stable product. It doesn't break down or anything like that. But,
and then Jerry,
by the way, it is definitely friendly for bees and butterflies and pollinators. If you want to get butterflies, get on yourself and go get out near your trees or something and watch the butterflies come together.
Yeah. So Jerry, we talked about the packaging on this tube. So we're gonna have an offering with Maxim at 1 gallon and then a 2.5 gallon, right?
Yeah. I think what we decided was we were doing the Big Shot Mosquito Pro. We were doing that at. It's okay around reptiles. We were doing it in that the reason we made the Mosquito Pro in that gallon container was we went ahead and diluted it so that people wouldn't have to worry about it. But I think that it's a better value if we sell it just Big Shot Maximum and do it just like we do for Big Ag. And because if you're going to make a business out of it, or even if you're going to use it around your house, it's probably just better to take the 20 ounces and make a gallon, and it'll go a long way. The cost per house, if you're spraying mosquitoes in your trees and stuff, should run somewhere around maybe $12 to $14, less than $15 an application, and that's pretty inexpensive to control ticks and bugs and spiders and
Oh yeah.
all the things that flies. It's not going to really do too much against wasps and bees and things like that, because all of the ingredients in this is really coming from plants, and they make chemicals. There's like 30 something real essential oils in here. So they make these chemicals to do two things. They're secondary metabolites, and they make them to either protect them from bad insects or viruses, disease, bacteria, or they use it to bring pollinators in, or to bring specific insects in. So it's just made to be friendly to them. Nature just makes them that way. So this is it's a real unusual product, and it's something
we're excited about it. Should we look at some questions, or do you see the questions? I can't see them while I'm showing pictures. You guys might be able to see them.
I don't see them, but while we're still in pictures, let's just go to the repellent real quick, because we've got that all set up too.
The repellent. Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's the nice stuff. Let's go to the repellent.
Yeah. Oh, right here. Okay, got it.
You gotta minimize it.
Yeah. Well, what I do is it goes on my other screen. Then I got to go back to that screen.
So
you'll see it. You'll see it.
So bring up. That's fine, Joe. But that's at a marketing level. Bring up the single bottle. It was the third picture.
Okay.
There's some cool stuff happening with that one.
Yeah. Here we go. Let me make.
There you go. There you go. Enlarge that.
Remember, it's delayed. I see it real fast, and it takes you a second.
Okay.
So
Eric, talk about this product.
Yeah. So that product actually uses a pharmaceutical. So Big Shot Maxim uses what we call kind of a technical glycerin that comes from corn and things like that, and along with all the essential oils and all that good stuff. And this one, because you're putting it on you, it's actually made out of a pharmaceutical grade glycerin, which is what you find in most of the really very expensive wrinkle creams and things like that. So it's you can pay $700 or $800 for some of the stuff that's in some of these fancy wrinkle creams. But and then it has all these organic oils in it, and then we put organic vanillin in it so that it'll control gnats as well. This product is really flying out. People are loving it all over the place. It has a good fragrance, and it's actually very skin softening. And we have started down the road of certified organic, and because everything in it is. So we've gotten all the paperwork together. We got the certifications from the people where we're getting the oils from, and we're filling out all the paperwork. We're getting it all done. We had to segregate. It's not fragrance free. But I will tell you that the deer probably won't mind it, because they understand natural plant fragrances as well. So it probably won't have any. It doesn't really have to be anything other than what it is, because they're already picking up on this with all the plants around them. But anyway, so in our building, we have to have a big fenced area where we take all the organic ingredients, and only organic things can go in that room, and only the equipment that you make these with, that you do the blending, everything has to be totally segregated. Which it's kind of funny because we're using all organics anyway, but to get the certification, you got to have all your ingredients going in on the chart, all the ingredients coming out. The USDA people come by and they monitor you a couple of times a year. And so this product is just a super fabulous product, and it really, really works. There's a lot of them that just say it does, but after wherever we put this, they're grabbing it and leaving all the no-nat stuff and this and that and all this, eucalyptus, lemongrass stuff. This is a real deal product. And we spent years really going over 20-something years of USDA field research of what botanicals they were using to fight bugs. So that's where all this came from, is we took meta-analysis of, I don't know, maybe 4,000 different publications from USDA research stations and looked at, and finally ended up putting in a computer program that kind of helped a lot. But what we did was we took all of the different types of things that were natural and botanical that they were using to fight bugs with and to be effective. And we started getting all that information together and then started segregating it around and finding which ones were really the most effective and how they were blending them. And so after, I don't know, maybe 2 years of that, about a year ago, we started putting together the formulations, and I had kept them back for quite a while because we were doing a lot of testing with it. But so what we maximum is stuff you spray on your field and your crops and around your house for spiders and whatever. And here's a little bottle of its relative that just is, more of a pharmaceutical grade product that's going to be its organic brother. And you put it on you. So I don't know how much savor you can get from spraying your field to putting it on you. But this is the exact same thing, just made with instead of a high-tech grade, it's made with pharmaceutical grade. So it's really going to have all of the same things that the other stuff does as far as what it repels and kills and things like that. But it has a long last. It's 4 to 6 hours it'll last on you. Some people are telling me more, but I don't think that's really. I don't think that's really gonna make that much a difference. Somebody just asked, what was that question again? The Big Shot. What is its price point?
So there is we're actually working on that right now since we actually have the labeling done. I know we're a little bit behind on it. And we're trying to keep that bottle cost down in the $7 range, and maybe even under that. The problem was trying to get with shipping too. So we'll have all that up on the website, especially since we're eliminating the Big Shot Pro and going to the Maximum. We'll have all that up there by end of week. So.
When we got to Georgia, I got off the plane, right? So we don't really have mosquitoes where I'm at here in Colorado, but I got off the plane. I'm serious. Within like a minute, I already have one mosquito bite. And like when my wife and I lived in, she's from Texas. When I lived there, man, I couldn't even go outside hardly because I always got bit by mosquitoes. As soon as I got to Jerry's shop, man, was it you or Craig that I had spray me down with that stuff? Spray me, man. And so it did. It did last.
What blood type do you have? Do you know what blood type you have?
I have A.
A?
Yes.
It's interesting. O negative is usually it somehow seems to be more of an attractant for mosquitoes.
I don't know, but they like mine.
And if you're fragrant, if you put out a lot of carbon dioxide.
Maybe that's it. But anyway, I had them spray me down.
I mean, they're attracted to colognes and to, laundry detergent softeners.
I don't use any of that stuff I can around my wife. So everything I do is natural. I have no underarm deodorant's all fragrance free, right? We haven't for.
So the way the mosquito works is he has 6 legs and she, because it's not the he that does it, but she will get around and try to get to where it's warm and run to your ankles. And they have these 2 little like scissor type knives, and they'll cut a little slit. And then she's got some other legs that'll open it up, and then she's got she'll bite it with her mandible so she can inject that kind of anesthetizing fluid into your skin. And that is where you get the allergic reaction, and you get the plasmodiums, and you get all the diseases and stuff from mosquitoes. And then she'll put that thing and siphon out and get just full as she can before she's running off to go lay eggs. And go lay eggs in really any kind of damp, moist place or someplace with little water. That's where she'll lay her eggs. And then pretty much she's gone after that, not too much longer.
Oh, wow.
Jared, did you tell us last weekend too that the number one cause of death in the world to date, and all plagues and everything, is mosquitoes? Is that correct?
Yeah, mosquitoes are actually responsible for half if you took all the population on the planet and divided that in half and added a little bit more, that would be the amount of population that mosquitoes have been responsible for killing. And so, if you look at biological history or geographical biological history, you'll find that mosquitoes pretty much have directed world geography and world development and everything else. I mean, wars are fought around how to stay away from mosquitoes as early as during World War II and even now some. But
wow.
It's got quite a history of mosquitoes. If you ever want to read what kind of history that mosquitoes actually are responsible for.
Sounds like everybody needs to buy a 12-pack of this.
Let's Joe, go ahead and let's go to the next one. Let's get everybody excited about the potential of this product.
Another thing, quick note, is because through either natural courses or some man-made, the climate warming up and actually a little angle of the earth changing a little bit, we're getting more and more tropical diseases and tropical mosquitoes, and even a new black widow coming up from South America, and a lot of things coming up this way just because of climate. And then you get hurricanes, and it picks it up and throws it geographically across the whole United States. But so this is an important time, and that's why you see all these big, huge mosquito companies blowing up everywhere. And
is that where you wanted me, Don?
No, I wanted you to show the display of the repellent.
Oh, well, that's the other way. That's not that way.
So Jerry, so the timing of us having a product like this, and everybody that we're all business owners, entrepreneurs on this webinar, and now we have a product in our hands that we can actually go out and make a difference and change the world. So so here's a display. I don't know if you can zoom into that at all, Joe, but
I am. If I zoom in more, you can't really.
Okay. So Jerry created a nice display box, and then Lee Davis, who you guys would have met if you were on last or a few weeks ago. Lee's been going out and placing these into a lot of different shops and stores, but that display box right there it's awesome. I ordered one just to have it at the house just to see what it looked like. And Jerry, it looks like it holds about 16, right? About 16 bottles.
Yeah, about how many's in a refill box of 16. But he was saying that he was selling most of them when he was walking in the door. And his goal is 100 stores. He's moving pretty quick, but this product is really taken off. I mean, it really is. It's I guess it's the southeastern United States, but it's really taken off. It's great too for ticks. It'll keep ticks off of you. So that's it. And your dog too.
What about chiggers?
Yeah, it'll keep chiggers off of you.
Okay.
I hate them chiggers. So just so everybody knows, what we're going to have is we're going to have a 2-bottle offering, a 6-bottle, a 16, and a 32. And that's how it'll be packaged. The 16 and the 32, you'll have an option. If somebody wants to have a display box like that, there'll be an option for them to get that. And that should be, like I said, up on the website shortly.
Yeah,
but
working on it.
I've already got a Aces Hardware, local Aces Hardware, that has already told me, hey, heck, bring it in. We'd love to put them out and just see how it goes.
Yeah, we have several Aces right now that are actually, we got 4 or 5 now that are really like.
You know what they're selling for retail?
They're selling between $9 and $13.
Yeah.
And our price would be approximately.
Yeah, Jim, it's going to differ a little bit between what we're ordering, the 2 and the 6. So we're trying to figure out trying to get our shipping into it. So it's going to be good. It'll be a good price. I think everybody will be excited about it. So and we do know that there's some products that call themselves organic that are on Amazon and stuff, and they're $13.95. And so, you know, it's just, and they don't have a candle to what we've got. So
Right.
anyway, I wanted to show you that display box too, so you can see that. And then, Joe, I think there might've been one more, but
There is.
yeah.
Nope, wrong way. Hold on. We're going to have to look at some of these questions because there's like 8 of them and I can't.
That's a good one there if you wanted to zoom in on the top.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, there you go. That's in my house right there. I'd set that up, and if you read that, it says the safest repellent on the planet. I love that. And so stronger than DEET. Anyway, it's a pretty good point of sale box. I really do like it. I think
just as an off note, if you get a scratch on you or a little cut or something, it's actually really antimicrobial. We actually put on it now antimicrobial and skin soft.
Yeah.
Well,
so if you do not have anything to what do they call it, the Perel or something to clean your hands with, or put a disinfectant on your hands.
Right.
This is just as good.
Oh, really? That's good.
Actually, probably better because it has a residual.
yeah, so but that's what my wife does. She uses BAC. We use BAC whenever we get a cut or something. She was even doing it when we were at your house when she had a little cut on her heel. So,
all right, let's go to some questions, Joe. I think that'd be good. I think Philip
I want to show your brother's tree.
Let's stay low. Let's Rhizosphere. Let's don't jump onto Rhizosphere. Let's stay with Big Shot. Plus, we want to bring Kelly in to talk about Big Shot too. So,
that's right.
What questions do we have on Big Shot? I think somebody just asked if it's safe for pets. And absolutely. Not only is it safe for pets, it's preferred for pets, right, Jared?
Yeah, it's good for their skin. It's good for any scratches or cuts. It repels ticks, fleas. It's also very good for their skin and their hair. And it, of course, keep mosquitoes off of them, too. And you can expect about 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, and it's got such a great lemongrass smell to it. I mean, we put it on Chip once, and I picked him up, wanted to smell him. It smelled so good. So, Joe, what else do we have for
this is a good. If you spray Big Shot on a fruit tree, do you have to wash the fruit, or before you?
No, it's a food grade. It's a total food grade product. You can it's actually approved for before and after harvest. You can spray it before harvest and after harvest. Anytime, even if it's anytime that you have any plant that's outside and you're eating it. And I saw a commercial the other day where they were showing an organic farm. This little girl was eating leaves from the right out in the field. The only problem I have with that is you don't know what kind of things are blowing around. You don't know what kind of drift from a farm next door. What did they spray? Who's been out with a pesticide company? And what birds have flown over and used a bathroom over it. So you always want to wash stuff. I mean, whether or not you've sprayed anything on it or not. And my wife would tell you that I need to take that advice.
So Aaron was asking, and of course the answer is yes. Is it good for the chili crop in New Mexico?
Is it what?
Good for the chili crop in New Mexico. The best green chilies in the world.
Green chilies.
Is it good for the chili crop?
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely work on any crop.
Yes.
No problem. Yeah.
It can't hurt anything.
Yeah. Some of the people are doing questions. I don't look at the Q&A over here. I only look at the chat. So let's see. Let me look at the questions in here. How is Big Shot good for green chili crops? Oh, we just answered that. Okay. Jerry, do you think the poisons and other mosquito sprays is similar to the product of Roundup? Yeah, I think it is.
Well, we were just talking about the pyrethriums, which is what most of the mosquito sprays have in them. And we just read out of Industrial Toxicology, one of my textbooks, that it has the same mode of action as DDT. So if they're telling you that it's safe, I just wouldn't go down that road. I'm on a mission to stop this. I mean, as an industrial hygienist, it's all about exposures, and we just we got to do something about it. I mean, it's so many ways from that we're getting these pesticides and organochlorines, organophosphates, pyrethriums, arsenics. I'm dealing with I went to Oklahoma recently and went to an old customer as an IH. And in the city there, they had a whole bunch of folks that had been poisoned by a pyrethrium product. And they had just dusted it all through their attics and stuff. And they're super, super ill. And they paid me a great deal of money to go do the testing and research on it. But I can tell you that that's why you see a lot of these big companies suddenly looking for alternatives to pyrethriums. And really, there's not anything that's not out there that's not a toxic, that's not a poison. It's either organochlorine, organophosphates, pyrethriums, arsenics. So we have an answer. You know, we have a great answer. So we've got to, we just got to get it out there, you know.
So the other question is maximum only for agriculture. Jerry was already saying we can mix it 20 ounces per gallon and spray it in our yards. So it's
for spiders, for bugs, for ticks, you know, all around, anywhere in your yard or around the eaves of your house, or wherever you don't want that stuff.
That's right.
Your gardens, you know, people got gardens that are just tomatoes are getting eaten up, all of that stuff, you know. So
I got questions on both sides. So let me do the last one over here. Daryl, I understand that it won't hurt you if you get it on you, but should you wear a mask when misting so that you don't breathe it? I always wear a mask, even if I was spraying water.
If you're misting anything and you're not pointing down, you absolutely want to, because you're going to get wind that'll blow back and stuff like that. It's just, you know, it'll get in your eyes and stuff. But you know what you do need to know is that I did it, and I didn't wear anything. I did wear an N95, and I wore my sunglasses.
Yeah.
My sunglasses had had product on it. The N95 was fine. I had the product all over me, and it just went like this.
Yeah.
So it was all good.
The best thing to do is just get some and feel it and touch it and you know, just see for yourself. I mean, there's nothing toxic in it. It's I mean, if you're eating plants, you're exposed to everything that's in it.
Okay, let me see if I'm missing anything here. Okay, so Ron Hemphill, are you going to offer a 32-ounce size of Big Shot for large pets?
He's got a big pet.
Yeah, buy a gallon. Buy a gallon, man. So we have it in gallons.
You're talking about the repellent, Ron? I think you probably are. There was some talk of us doing a 32-ounce, Jerry, for refill possibly, but at this point, we're not really looking at that, are we?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you were doing your pets or anything like that, I'd probably just get Big Shot Max. You know, even if I'm, that's what I would do.
Yeah, God, that's a great answer.
It's just it's the concentrated repel is what it is, big time.
Yes. So here's a good question, perhaps strange question, but I'm thinking of selling to deer hunters. Any thoughts on the scent of the product?
So I'm not a hunter. I love to fish. I've been hunting a few times, but I'm from a fishing family, commercial too. But I would say it should not have a negative effect. It should actually be positive because it's made from plants. It smells like plants. It has an odor like from plants and things, and it's from, you know, the things that are in the woods and that the animals are exposed to anyway. So I would have to test it to know but I haven't. So maybe somebody could try it.
Well, like
Ron said he's going to go hunting some big buffalo and stuff. And
yeah, there you go.
We'll test.
Okay, so let's see.
Look, if we really sell tons of this stuff and we really get it out there, we're going to start putting back something for that safari and with my buddy down in South Africa. He might bring us to see some real big stuff. We can test it on all kind of critters down there.
So we got several questions. Okay, so Ron's going to test it when he goes hunting. And my friend across the street, Chris, he's a big-time hunter. He's, in fact, Wednesday, I don't even know if it's hunting season, but he's going like at 11,000 feet, and he goes for like a week by himself. Like this guy weighs 140 pounds, but I seen him lift 300-pound tires. I do CrossFit with him, but like, so he might test it for me. So, okay, by mentioning that other products possible have different poisons that might cause cancer long term, would that be slander? Not if you don't mention the product, I don't think. People know what poisons cause cancer because it's already written about.
The products that have pyrethriums in them and things like that, the defense for slander is truth. So that's just the way it is. So, but as industrial hygienists, it's actually our job to go into, as safety folks and safety coordinators and that sort of thing, and dealing in healthcare and things like that. It's our job to tell you, hey, this is going to hurt you. This chemical is not a good chemical, or this exposure, or this heat exposure, or these fibers from asbestos. There's lots of that. So it's really our job to say, look, guys, these things are not safe for you. That's what industrial hygiene is all about. So the folks that came out against DDT in the 40s, and they came out against arsenics, and it was always scientists can test and give you the kind of results that you want. So if I want to show you that DDT is not going to hurt you, I'll test things for DDT that's going to show a positive effect, or not something like that. So but whenever you're labeled as a grass product, we are. That means that tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have used these chemicals in these not greater than these concentrations and that sort of thing. And the EPA, USDA, and FDA have said, because of all of this, and we will tell you that we generally recognize these chemicals as safe. And being that they also are coming from plants and things like that, that's actually even better. But so that's the only thing that we're going to use in these things, and it's really the only other alternative.
Hey, so Jerry, so the Maxim and the repellent, the 4-ounce bottle we have right now, the only difference is the glycerin, or the type of glycerin, or what is it?
Say that again.
So the Maxim, the Big Shot Maxim.
Okay, the Maxim has what's called a technical grade. Yeah. So it's the corn, the refined plant glycerin that's in the mosquito repellent. The small bottles is what's called a pharmaceutical grade. It's super purified. That's the one that they put in the wrinkle creams and the stuff that they charge you $500 a container for, and fragrance it up and that sort of thing. But it's we thought we would make it just super elegant, and we're working to make that product even better every single day. We're trying to find more things we can do to get it all sorts of different types of registrations, and organic and everything we can.
Should I bring Kelly in?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to bring you in, Kelly. Then we'll bring Craig in. He's got a few things, so he should be showing up any second. There he is, coming in. Your volume, your mic, Kelly.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. So what did you have for me, Joe? Which product were you wanting me to tell you about?
Well, which product do you love the most? All of them?
I like them all. I haven't found one yet that I don't like.
So we're talking about Big Shot Pro right now. So those kind of things, right? The Maxim, the Pro, the personal 4-ounce one. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
So use the Big Shot on the house. Just with all I had was like a ULV fogger and like a 100-foot cord. I've got about half an acre. I probably have 20 trees in my yard and a lot of bushes, a garden. My wife's a gardener, and loved it. We've had a lot of rain here, so I've noticed that the more it rains, the more the effectiveness has decreased. But we're getting like 2 and 3 inch rains in one night. Jim's probably the same way down there. But love it. Went and did my daughter's kind of a nature freak or chemically, spooked by chemicals, and I went ahead and did their backyard as well with the ULV. Same thing, same results. Now that night, after I did it, we got like a 4 inch rain, so I'm gonna have to go back and do it again. But we've had a lot of flooding here, a lot of more rain this year so far than we've had the last 3 years combined. And
well,
mosquitoes are a problem.
And so you've seen a big drop in the mosquitoes. Well, Craig and I and Don will stop praying for all that rain, so you got to keep buying more. We'll kind of lay that off a little bit, but so you see a big reduction in mosquitoes when you spray it. Then I guess I'm assuming,
yes,
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So while I have you on here, so that's great, right? Like I seen it when they sprayed me when I got to Jerry's shop. Right away, I stopped getting, sucked up by these mosquitoes, right? And it did last about 4 or 5 hours because I only did it twice, and we were there all day, man. So, like, it was like 4 or 5 hours it lasted, and then I noticed it was wearing off because I was getting bit, and then I don't remember if it was Don or Craig. I had them spraying me all over, man. But so if you had to pick another product and you had a testimony about it, what would it be?
Man, I like the BAC. We're using on everything. I'm cleaning my kitchen counters with it. We have a janitorial service, so we're incorporating that into this year. We're going to start trying to give like a platinum package to our janitorial clients that'll have the higher end disinfecting products that something like BAC. Let them know that this is that has a residual with it. The stuff that we normally use doesn't. It has a kill, and then the process starts immediately over. And so we do bank teller lines, some stuff like that, where we can put that on there and it'll have a residual effect of fighting infection.
What's really interesting? I was thinking about you're like as out of all the ACES members, like you and Ron, you guys are starting to use your affiliate link. And because we're starting to see that you're starting to sell to people with your affiliate link, so you're going to be getting paid for that. That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, even just, a lot of times we tell people, we give them the SDS sheet on it, things that we're going to use, if it's a mold remediation job or whatever, and then remind them that, hey, this would be great to clean your kids' toys with, on your kitchen counters. And I've noticed a couple of them have ordered some stuff. So
that is awesome. I'm going to bring Craig. I'm going to bring you in because Craig has something. I'm going to bring Craig in also. So I hope you're dressed.
Let's show the Rhizosphere with the.
Oh yeah, we're going to show that real quick.
But Kelly, you did a great job. I've noticed that too. That some of your clients that you're talking to are going on and ordering using your link, and with time, you know what? That's just going to compound. So anyway, good
All
job.
right, here we go. All right. Let me grab this. Let me put it over there. Let me do a new share. This is amazing, man. This blew me away. All right, Don, go ahead and explain this, and then I'll show the other pictures.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it quickly because we're running low on time. But this is my brother's house. He shows his pictures this morning, and he goes, "This is our hydrangeas. What do they call them? Hydrangeas or whatever."
I don't know, man.
Hydrangeas, whatever.
The plants.
These are 2.5 or 3 year old plants that bushes that he had planted in front of his house, and he's been using the PreVasive products with. He runs our restoration division, and I challenged him to take some Rhizosphere and use it at his house. And so his wife sprayed one of those with Rhizosphere 2 months ago and didn't spray the other one. Which one do you think they sprayed?
I mean, this is crazy. Look at the difference on the one on the right, man.
Yeah, and they're the same. They're the same age. And look at the plants and stuff that are below it too. And how they've just taken off and bloomed. Anyway, go to the next picture, Joe. Get a close up of it. So,
how often did she spray it?
one time 2 months ago. And Rhizosphere is 2 ounces to a gallon. So there's the one that they sprayed. Look how full of life that bush is.
It's crazy. Now let's look at the other one.
Yeah.
And this is the one that wasn't sprayed. Oh my God, man.
Yeah, and it's, it still looks good, but it's not full. It's struggling, in comparison. And so, Jerry, I know, that you've got a great product there with basically a plant and soil builder. What it's doing is you can spray your entire yards, bushes, everything with that Rhizosphere, and it's going to go down into the root system and help the root ball of these plants, which then in turn helps grow the plant from the bottom up. And just make everything.
I have a question.
And another good thing is when you're using the Big Shot Maxim, when you're misting that, you're also putting the fertilizer on it. And when the glycerin product helps it really stick to things. So if you do this when it's dry, it'll really hold to the plant better, and it'll hold the surfaces better. But when it washes down into the soil, the actual Big Shot is it really helps even the Rhizosphere, because what it does is it slows the loss of nitrogen, because it slows down some bacterial activity that causes nitrogen loss or consumption of nitrogen. So it's actually, if you're using Big Shot around that too, it's actually good for that as well. So those two products together are pretty awesome.
Hey, Jerry,
we wanted a 1-2 punch with agriculture, was to have something that, even though it's killing pests, it's also actually good for the soil too, and good for the plant.
Hey, could you mix the two together and fog it? And you're doing everything at one time? I don't think I would do that, because there's trillions and trillions of bacteria in Rhizosphere, soil bacteria. So it's probably better to put that first and then come back with the Big Shot Maxim. Oh, good. I'm glad I asked. That's great.
But it is really cool the way they work together. There's some serious stuff going on in Florida with that combination. It's we're getting some good news out of there. But there's the biggest thing on the planet's agriculture. So everybody loves to eat, and they love their.
That's right. This is crazy, the difference. And that's the only thing different. They're the same age or a planet at the same time.
Yeah, remember. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys remember Jeff Koons talked about what it did for his apricot tree and yard too. And so anyway, look more into that product. We are going to add a 1 quart offering with Rhizosphere also. And we should have that up and available instead of just a gallon. Make it more affordable for people to try. You only need 2 ounces per gallon, and you can do a whole yard with probably, 3 or 4 gallons. So, so if we have a quart offering, we may get more people that want to, and we'll.
Look.
And the thing with Rhizosphere is it's all about patience, because what you do, it's like anything you put in your yard. It takes its time to do it. So over its growing time, it really makes a difference. But it's in there building and helping the soil and, bringing in good bacteria. Yeah. So it's just something you do year round. And heck, if, really the best thing to do is to use that 3 or 4 times a year. And then maybe once a month during the, the really rainy season and bug season, just hit it with Big Shot, your area, and you should come up with some pretty incredible yards and trees.
So Ron had the same question. Jerry, could you mix Rhizosphere and Big Shot? So he had the same thing in his mind. We're saving time, right? But now we know we're going to do Rhizosphere first and then Big Shot. That's how you would do it.
So where does the BAC come into the mix there? Is that
okay?
Yeah.
One of the BAC is the cannabis and hemp product. for if you're using it as an agriculture for pest control. But Ron asked about he asked about the weed killer.
Yes.
So the thing about weed killer is we do have a great weed killer. It's an awesome weed killer, but it's not selective, right? So if you have pine straw and you've got, crabgrass or whatever growing up through it, you can take that HP straight up and put it on there. Man, it is gone. I see Ron said I use HP to kill. Now, he's right. HP will definitely kill grass if you use it straight up, not diluted. And but it's not selective. So if you have some grass you want to keep with a few things of the other, so what the grass people make is some of this weed killer that'll be selective that they have. They have one that's real popular that you'll see where it kills all these weeds, but it doesn't hurt, your Bermuda grass or whatever. And how they do that is they have a growth accelerator that is engineered to not make the grass that they want that you like your Bermuda grass. It doesn't affect that, but all these other grasses and weeds, it super accelerates their growth and they just can't survive. And so that's what that's one of the herbicides that you use. So other than that, I don't have a weed killer other than just total weed kill with HP. And it turns water, and so it's not gonna.
Jerry, just last thing, while we're talking about HP, that is becoming to be one of our flagship products too, right? That's just turned out to be a wonderful product for us, and so.
Somebody asked if it hurts synthetic turf. What hurts synthetic?
Which product, Aaron? HP would bleach it. The other's not going to hurt it.
HP's not going to hurt synthetic turf. It's pretty much a plastic and everything. But
do you think it would die?
One of the problems with synthetic turfs is if they're like in ball fields or places like that. Believe it or not, they actually can harbor MRSA for a pretty long time and different types of things like that. And we've had some football field people spraying BAC over that turf. They'll come and just coat it down with it to help control surface bacteria on it. And
that's something new I just learned. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, we do. They do wrestling mats and different things like that.
So, Craig, you had something at the end, didn't you? Doesn't Craig look like Jesus, sort of? His hair is growing. It kind of looks like.
That's what we're working on. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I had a few things. We came home from a great weekend with Jerry and his wife, and man, it's like attending one of these webinars on steroids. I'm telling you, it's just like.
Oh yeah, we're all like this.
I couldn't sleep for 3 days, but we were in the process of a move, and we had a lot of stuff in storage, and we had this. Jody's father had an old leather chair, and I was thinking. I called Joe and I said, "What product should I use to try to clean this?" And he's like, "Well, maybe BAC." And I started reading the labels, and on Oxy Orange it said leather cleaner. So I got out the Oxy Orange. I sprayed it on this nasty old leather chair that had been in storage for two and a half years, and that thing just totally cleaned it up. I mean, it was amazing. Just blew my mind on that one. But yeah, we tried last night. We were swimming in the little pool here at the new house, and Jody's like, "What are these little bugs biting?"
Oh God!
And those are the no-see-ums. And I said, I've got a little sample of the Big Shot Pro. Let me go and let's give that a try. And sure enough, sprayed it on her, and I got a big smile. And sure enough, and she loved the way it actually foams a little bit. Jerry, it foams on your skin coming out of that. I don't know if that is something special that you planned or, but it was pretty cool. But it was nice on the skin as well. But yeah, love that product already. And just this is an opportunity. I mean, I've been involved in a lot of things, but this is the real deal. As you can tell, you start talking to Jerry and everything. And, you know, we've got over 100 affiliates now that have signed up for PreVasive Prime. And if you guys haven't signed up, we still have a special for ACES members. We have $30 off. If you go to the website and you hit on Prime, put in the code ACES, click on the gold membership, and you'll get $30 off the gold membership. That gives you 10% off your product and 10% commissions on everything that you share, which is amazing. And that's really, thank you to Jerry that he set that up and worked with Don and Joe and Jim, you know, and we're excited to have people like Kelly and Ron really have seen it. We've been cutting checks and hundreds of dollars out to affiliates already. So this is just the beginning, but don't wait to get started, because it's happening. Yeah, it's from what I see.
All right. Any final questions, Jim? Anything? You got anything?
No, I'm just happy as a lark.
Jim is happy as a lark, man, and he should be. Oh,
Kelly,
yeah.
thanks for jumping on and sharing. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Hold on, I want to say one more thing. Jerry's going to be at the first ever ACES seminar that we're having in Emporia, Kansas. So Jerry will be there. I'll be there. Craig will be there. We know that. We know Kelly will be there. He lives an hour away. There's a bunch of us going. So if you guys are thinking about going, we'll be getting all the details out. But it's going to be awesome, right? And if
6 months away.
Go ahead, Kelly. I'm sorry.
No, I just had a question. As I approached a large landscaping company that does mosquito control, they said they tried to do the environmentally friendly route and just wasn't cost effective for them as far as the number of people that were interested, with it not doing as good a job. Obviously, it wasn't this product. How would you address that issue in a sales call?
Well, we are competitive, absolutely now. And our product, you saw the videos, you saw the stuff. We're now, you know, as much fields and crops and places where we're doing all this stuff now, you know, it's no longer does it work. We know it does. And it does last really well in the environment, even under heavy rains, which is, you know, there is no product out there that stands through the rains, and that's the biggest problem with the mosquito guys. But case in point, I have a PhD from Tulane and LSU they're really getting excited about this product for mosquito control. They're a global mosquito control company. We have the largest mosquito control company in the United States. Just took a shipment today. We've been talking with their etymologist in Virginia for a while, and he is absolutely excited about it. And so they sent it out to their #1 franchise in the United States, and I think he picked up 60 gallons today or something like that. And they're going to spray over 200 houses. And you can imagine that that's going to kind of really take off, because so Craig, if those guys are spraying in your area, we'll let you know who they are, because you can feel safe about that. But so the fact that we're getting those guys that are coming on board, it should be pretty easy to do it out there too. And we'll start having testimonies and pictures and videos and all of that sort of thing. And we also been approached by some big pest control companies here, some big ones. They're looking at using it for different things, not just mosquitoes and, you know, other things, but they're doing trials with it with termites and things like that, which would just be crazy if it does a whole lot there. But anyway, it's not out of their ballpark. It's not out of their range, and it really has a good residual. So that's not something they're even used to in what they're using now. And what we were told by these big company and these other big companies is that EPA is really beginning to look at this pyrethrum thing. And they can see the writing on the wall. So something somewhere has got to change. We could not be in a better place at a better time with the products and what we have. And it's kind of like we have the opportunity to really change things if we can just, get that word out there and get people using it and touching these things. And so it's beyond us. This is a real deal. We took a lot of time and a lot of smart people to put these things together. So it's time for us to take these things and get it out to the folks. It's the mission.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, thanks so much for your time. We always appreciate it. And we're going to try to, we talked about this a little bit today. We're going to try to start moving towards shorter videos, more compact recordings that we're going to be able to send out, put them on the Facebook page, put them on the website, put them in places, send them out to everybody. So, and they'll be topic specific. So let's say we want to talk about BAC. We may do a 5 or 10 minute video, may include Jerry, may just be us talking about that. We might ask somebody like Kelly to get on, do that too. And so when somebody opens a video and it says 5 or 10, 15 minutes, they're more apt to watch it versus the hour and 15-minute one. And so we think we can really make an impact making that change. So I know we're going to move towards doing less of the long webinars and try to compact into the smaller, shorter ones. And we need feedback from everybody too on what topics would they like, And so you're going to see more input on ACES, the ACES Facebook page. We're going to be putting more things on there that are relative to PreVasive and ACES and with these videos and stuff too. And we are going to have a YouTube channel that's going to be available to everybody too. So we got some great stuff coming up, and it's only because of Jim bringing his program in there, and now Jerry his program, and we're all benefiting from it. We've been benefiting from it for a while. So anyway, I've never been more excited about the future of and I just turned 60, so man, I'm ready to create that.
We're at his birthday.
Really ready to create that residual income. And guys, that's what we have our hands on, residual income. People will love these products. We love them. We use them. We got to get people to try them. We get people to try them. They'll continue to buy them. But more than that, word of mouth advertising, that's where it's all at. You know what, Kelly, these few people you got buying BAC, they're going to Bridge Club, they're going to church, they're sitting there going, man, I cannot believe how good this stuff is. Well, they're going to go, well, how do I get it? See? And so let's compound that. And, we got 100 members now. Tell people about this program. Don't be afraid to promote what we're doing. There is no competition out there. We're in such an infancy stage, and this is going to be PreVasive is going to be a home name someday. Okay, and you guys are all in the front seat, man. You're in the front seat of this thing. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it.
That was a good speech. All right, so that's it. All right.
All right.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna. I got
Hey, Craig.
you guys.
Joe.
Bye-bye.